continue doing the SAT practice test number 8. We're in the no calculator section. Like I said earlier, if you're actually using a calculator in the calculator section, then you're probably doing it wrong. Alright, so this part says a slope of 3. So our linear equation is y equals mx plus b. The m is our slope, or rate of change. It's also the number attached to the x. And our b is our y-intercept. And in a word problem, it is the starting amount. It is also the number not attached to the x. So we just want a slope of 3, so I need a 3 attached to the x. In the equation above, which of the following is a possible value of x plus 1? So we've got x plus 1 down here, we've got x plus 1 over here. And multiply, and multiply. Anytime you have an ugly fraction, you can just multiply everything by the bottom to get rid of your ugly fraction. So x plus 1
equals 2.
So really, I don't even need to solve this. What I really need to realize is that something times itself equals 2. So I need to look at these things. 4 times 4, does that give me 2? No. 2 times 2, does that give me 2? No. 1 minus square root of 2. You actually have to FOIL that, so it's going to give you something that's probably not 2. So if we do first, we get 1. If we do outside, negative root 2. Inside, negative root 2. Last, the negatives cancel when you multiply them, and the roots cancel, so I get plus 2. So this is actually 1 minus 2 root 2 plus 2, which is not equal to 2. But root 2 times root 2, the roots cancel, that is actually 2. Alright, so this looks like we actually have volume. We might actually need a formula, but they already kind of gave us one. The glass pictured above can hold a maximum volume of 473 cubic centimeters, which is approximately 16 fluid ounces. And they want to know what is the value of K in centimeters. So we need to get K by itself. They gave us volume, so let's plug that in. Now, to solve this, we need to get K by itself. This is actually something you can do on a calculator. Our class uses the TI Inspires. A lot of you probably have the TI-84. Either one's fine. So for this, you want to multiply both sides by 48. So I get 22,704 equals 7 pi k to the third. Now I need to divide both sides by 7. So 32, 43 equals pi k to the third. I need to divide both sides by pi. And now I need to do the cube root, or you can raise it to the 1/3. Either way is the same thing. So we do the cube root. Now for For the next one, water pours into the glass slowly and at a constant rate. Which of the following graphs best illustrates the height of the water in the glass as it fills? The important part here is that they said constant rate. This one is getting faster over time. This one is getting slower over time. This one is actually constant. And if our scroller would show us option D, this one's just staying the same. Let's go back up to A real quick. So this one is constant and it's increasing. So our answer is going to be A. Jenny has a pitcher that contains 1 gallon of water. How many times could Jenny completely fill the glass with 1 gallon of water? So 1 gallon equals 128 ounces. Scroll up to our formula again real quick. Alright, so right here, and this holds 16 ounces. Alright, you can scroll back. So basically, I've got 128 ounces and my cup holds 16 ounces. So this is really just 128 divided by 16. Alright, for number 13, if A is raised to the -1/2 equals x, where A is greater than 0, what is A in terms of x? So really what they want us to do is get A by itself. So I need to do things to get A by itself. First, it'd be helpful to talk about some square root stuff and some exponent stuff. X to the -3 is the same thing as just sticking it on the bottom, and that makes the exponent positive. So this is really the same thing. A to the -1/2 is the same thing as 1 divided by A. That's about the same. A to the 1/2 is also the same thing as the square root of A. They're both the same. So this is also the same as 1 over the square root of A. So if I do it like that, it's still kind of ugly, but at least it makes more sense. I need to get A by itself. So I need to undo all this junk that's happening. I have an ugly fraction, so the first thing I need to do is get rid of my ugly fraction. So I'll multiply by square root of A and square root of A. These cancel. 1 equals x square root A. Now I need to divide by x. Those cancel. Now to get rid of my square root, I need to square both sides. So I square this, and those cancel. I square this. So my answer is C. Roberto is an insurance agent who sells 2 types of policies, a $50,000 policy and a $100,000 policy. Last month, his goal was to sell at least 57 insurance policies. While he did not meet his goal, the total value of the policies he sold was over $3 million. Which of the following systems of inequalities describes X, the possible number of $50,000 policies, and Y, the possible number of $100,000 policies that Roberto sold last month? So if it's close in the word problem, it's got to be close in the equations. So X goes with 50,000, and Y goes with 100,000. So these are fine. Those are actually fine. Now, they said his goal was to sell at least, but he did not meet his goal. So that means that X and Y have to be less than 57 because he did not meet his goal. This is greater, so it's not those. And the total was over 3 million, so that means it's bigger than 3 million. This is smaller, it's not that. This one's bigger, there you go, it's C. For number 14, which of the following is a value of x for which the expression is undefined? Undefined means we divided by 0. You can't divide by 0. It breaks the universe, it makes the mathematicians cry. It's just not cool. So I need to factor this, and I need to figure out where I would be dividing by 0. So x squared plus 3x minus 10. This is A, this is B, this is C. I need factors of C that add up to B. So factors of negative 10, I have 1 and 10, 2 and 5. These are 3 apart. Since this is negative, that means one of them is going to be negative. Since this is positive, that means the bigger one's positive. So if I rewrite this, so now, if x was negative 5, this would turn into 0, and then I would be dividing by 0. If x is positive 2, this would turn into 0, and then I'd be dividing by 0. So positive 2. Alright, we'll finish this in our next video.